as you can probably guess by now, my uploading schedule has been all thrown off due to several things. Number one, it looks like I've gone from being a slug lying around worrying about the silence here and living alone. The past 5 days I've been so busy I can hardly stand it. As a matter of fact, Colleen is about ready to knock on my door. It's almost 9 o'clock, and I have a job. She is going to Vegas with her friend Tara, and it's their 30th anniversary from the day they met when they became roommates in college at UNLV in Las Vegas. And they're going to spend 3 days in Vegas. She's leaving tomorrow morning, and they're going to just beat up the town. They want to somehow get in the building where they roomed and try and have someone let them into the room that they began rooming together as freshmen in. And they want to go back to some of the haunts, the places they went when they partied, and all sorts of fun things. They're staying in a hotel, and they have some reservations to have a really nice dinner where they're dressing up. And evidently, she bought this gorgeous jumpsuit. Now, she called me yesterday, and she said, "Pretty please, I have a favor. This new jumpsuit just arrived, and it's too long. Mom, can you hem it for me, please?" Well, I knew I was busy today, and I've been really, you wouldn't believe the energy that I've been putting into running around the past couple days. But anyway, I said, okay. She said, "I'm so exhausted now, I can't come down, but I'll come down in the morning." I said, okay, but I have to go see Moosey, so you got to be here early. So I said, is it a sewing machine job, or am I going to have to do it by hand, or is there a lining or what? Well, she sent a picture back, and it's a gorgeous sequin midnight blue jumpsuit, very fancy for their night out on the town with the fancy dinner and whatever. And it's long, and it has a lining. So that means I have to cut sequins, do something when I turn it up so the sequins don't fall apart, but it's an expensive item, and it's well made, and the sequins evidently aren't loose and scratchy. So sure enough, she's coming down this morning, and I have to do this for the rest of the day because she's packing tonight. I think she's knocking on the door now, so I better stop. What I had to do, and she said she just woke up, so she does. I'll go this far. This is the most gorgeous, isn't it beautiful? Oh, I did get your face real fast. You look gorgeous. She said she just woke up. Okay, what I had to do was hem this. As you can see, this side is too long. Covers my foot. Way long. So that's my job for today after I go over and see Moosey. And that's hemming. Now, I've done this how many hundreds of times for kids at the last minute. But she leaves tomorrow morning, early. So she just left. This is my job for the rest of the afternoon after I come back from seeing Moosey. What a beautiful jumpsuit, and she looks absolutely gorgeous in it. So it does have a lining, and it is sequins, but I think I can do it. I just measured it. She's so cute. Anyway, so many things have happened since I last talked to you. And the reason that my uploading schedule was off, it took several days. That last video that I did for you, I had been to Apple the day before, and they convinced me that to get better clarity, there were a couple of things that I could do, and one of them was changing the resolution. Now, I don't understand this. My head is so full of facts, technology, and I probably have retained just a bit of what they taught me because it's too much to take in all at once. But I think some of the important things I do understand. And what you film in and what you upload to YouTube in, if you go into what they call a 4K, you get a much better resolution, the pixels. And that's why so many of you said, oh, yes, the clarity is great. Do you know what, though? It took me more than 24 hours to upload it. And I thought I was going to have to cancel it halfway through. That was all through the night and all through the next day. Well, I didn't know what to do. I went running back to Apple. That's why I was there the second day. Help me. What am I going to do? So they said, well, it was a 31-minute video, and I thought maybe that you had done a shorter video, but you chose probably not what you wanted to have happen at that time. So that's why I didn't get the video up. There's other things I can do, lighting and shorter videos, but I know you like the longer videos. That was just a chat that I couldn't stop chatting, all about things that I don't want to stop doing in my later years. Anyway, I apologize, and I'm not going to film anymore, I don't think, in 4K. I think what I'm going to do is trade in my old iPad and this big computer that I got 2 years ago and have never learned. And yesterday, poor Brian took an hour and a half to try and teach me how to convert this. And I realized, yes, I am not ready to change the way I do things. Working on a computer would be very different. I love computers. I used to use computers all the time, but now, especially when I was teaching, but now it's 20 years since all that. And as Brian said, if what you're doing is working, and I think it is working, ladies, I think you love it. The clarity, I'll try and improve it with other things. The new iPad, the iPad Air and the iPad Pro, evidently have a much better brain. He's trying to talk. Brian is so cute. He's a real teacher. He gives me information in the terms that he thinks I can understand it. And when he's talking about the brain, he really means M4 and M2, but see, I wouldn't understand that. So to make a long story short, I think I might be trading in for a new iPad. My iPad is the same one that I started all this with 4.5 years ago. And evidently it's faster, better speed, better clarity, better brain. And yet it works the same. What I do, it's not a great amount of editing, but what I do is okay for now. I don't need it all fancied up. Do I? You're still going to love me if maybe I'm not always filming in 4K. I don't want any more videos to take a day or a day and a half because I'm ready to put another video up at that point, and I can't do two at once, I guess. I don't know. So, normally I like to speak extemporaneously, not referring to notes. But since I'm in a rush this morning, I do have to get off and see Moosey early this morning because I got to get to that beautiful sequin jumpsuit. I wrote down some of the things that I wanted to bring you up to date on. And one of them, which I haven't been able to tell you, but our baby Caden, Riley, our grandson Riley's, his wife Liz, they had beautiful baby Caden arrive 3 days ago, I guess. I wanted to tell you that day, but I couldn't get a video up. And he's gorgeous. She had a long labor, and she's such a tiny little girl. And they almost were going to do a cesarean, but fortunately popped out at the last minute. He's beautiful. They're both fine. And we have a new baby. The other thing that is in question at this time, and I just heard this last night from Debbie, I guess, through her daughter Molly, who's a good friend of Jenny's, that the twins that Jenny, we thought were expecting, is not a surety now for some reason or other. And this must have just happened yesterday because I haven't heard from Jenny. Not that she would think of me first. From what I heard, their reaction right off the bat was sadness. And they cried and cried because they were so tuned into thinking they were expecting twins. And then it was anger, who made the mess up. When you go in to have those scans done, the technician reads it. And maybe he read it wrong. I don't know. But what a mistake to make. And they were so excited. But then after their anger and everything, they thought, Well, we're grateful that everything is fine. And maybe for the first baby, it might be better to have one. Maybe on this, after their second, maybe that would happen with the twins, because Jenny's mom was a twin and Jenny's grandmother had two sets of twins. So there's another chance. But isn't that sad? So I have to find out more about it just to let you know. But I hope I'm not speaking ahead of it here. But she hadn't put anything up on Instagram or anything, and she kind of wanted to wait. So maybe she did have an inkling. Maybe at the time the fellow wasn't sure or whatever. I don't know, but it's sad. So we don't think we're going to have twins in our family. Now, I'm getting to the Harley news, and it's not good news. Remember, I told you that after my week of babysitting and having fun with Harley, and thank God I had that wonderful week with Harley, that night she wasn't well when Colleen and Micah came home, and she was sick to her stomach. She was listless. She wasn't eating. Well, that went on for 2 days. They took her to a vet, and he gave some medicine to them. Maybe she got into something. Well, she didn't improve. In fact, she got worse, her breathing, and they took her back to the vet. And this time he did do some imaging, and the imaging did not have good results. And I'm going to read what he said Harley has. Harley has dilated cardiomyopathy. And evidently that is an enlarged heart with water, lots of water in his system around the heart. And the heart is almost twice the size it should be, evidently, and water in other places. And it's not good news. Colleen has been up. He is on a medication, but they're trying to, and he's not himself. He came in this morning into the cottage with Colleen, and he's not his usual bubbly self. Normally he would be jumping up at me. It's so sad. Harley is only 4.5, 5 years old. They say it's a genetic condition. And over last weekend, Shannon came home from college and was distraught because it was kind of her doggie that one Christmas. In fact, I had a cute little picture of Shannon and the puppy. They got him as a puppy. And remember Coda, the beautiful husky with the blue eyes? Remember he developed seizures and he went much too early. Remember they were wonderful dogs and played together. It's so sad. That's the problem sometimes with pets. We get so attached and they leave us too soon. So please say a little prayer for Harley. I know we're praying for a lot these days with all the hurricane victims and everything else going on in our world. Lucy and I were very upset when we heard this. So right now they're trying to see how she is. They're going back to the vet and talking about decisions to make. Is Harley suffering? And what's the prognosis? He did mention she could have a heart attack at any moment, but on the other hand, maybe not. My kids have been checking in on me, calling pretty much every day to see that everything's fine. I am wearing my fall detection button here. I hope it's working because a couple of times it's fallen off my wrist or I've knocked it and nobody's called or anything's happened. So I think I'm going to test it maybe this afternoon just to see if they're going to answer on that call button up there with the, "Are you okay?" So I'll push it and see what happens. But what was I going to talk about here? Oh, Mikey. So last night when Mikey called, he said, "Why don't you come down this weekend? Just drive down, spend the weekend with us, and we'll chill. We're going to an ice cream social Friday night at one of the kids' schools. We'll have a little fun. Saturday, maybe we can go out to eat sushi or something." Oh, that sounded good. But just being with the kids and Mikey. You know, I did this once before when Moosey was in a hospital, and I had a nice weekend. But you know, without Moosey, it's different. You just know that Moosey's not there. But I love seeing the kids. I love being with Mikey and Sabrina, and it would be a nice, relaxing weekend. Mikey makes it very wonderful for me. He cooks me my favorite breakfasts in the morning. Either it's eggs Benedict, or we go out and we have eggs Benedict after church. We do go to church down there, and I get to go to mass when I'm down there too, which is not always possible here with Moosey. So I think I'm going to drive down and spend the weekend with them down there, but be back in time to see Moosey on Sunday, maybe around noontime, because the weekends are kind of, as Moosey said, if no one's coming over the weekend, it gets kind of lonely and closed down. You know, the staff is reduced. Maybe I'll sign up some of my kids to go and visit Moosey on the weekend too, so he doesn't suffer too much loneliness. A few more things I want to talk about. Something about the shoes that I've been hunting for Moosey and not having any luck. He said that he's having trouble getting his Skechers on. Now, I bought him some expensive Skechers just a couple months ago, and those are the ones that you slide your feet into. You see them advertised on television. Well, he can't do that right now. They're not going in, and I think it's because they keep these fuzzy red kind of booty socks on them, and maybe with those socks on, he's not going in. But he wants a pair of the old kind of tennies that he had, or sneakers that have the Velcro closings. Now, I remember my father had those in his old age, and he could easily put them on and off. So I went out shopping for them at Walmart, at Target. I went to 2 or 3 different Walmarts. Do you know there's not a swinging Velcro sneaker or tenny anywhere in men's or women's? They have completely been replaced, like so many things in this world, with these elastic laces that expand and detract. And when you slide your foot in, they slide open and then they close, but they still look like regular people's shoes. I think the concept of the Velcro was a clue to your age. So I went on good old Amazon, and sure enough, I found a pair for Moosey. He also wanted the wide toe, and then that was always hard, and the lighter ones, which are more for people with diabetes or something. So I think I found a pair for him. They're not the big honking tennis shoes. They're not leather. They're just a soft something that he can just walk around in. That's it. So you know what? I'm going to finish up when I come home. And right now I'm going to be on my way. I'm already fixed up, and all I have to do is get myself together here. I told Moosey I'd be over there early in the morning, and I do want to get there maybe to watch him do his PT this morning too. So bye for now. I'll catch you later. So what I have to do now is I still have to take all my pills and all my supplements. And that's another video, by the way, that I want to talk about. The fish oil, the omega-3s, the collagen, and all the extra things that I take to give me all this energy to keep going. And I honestly believe it must have something to do with it. And we'll talk about all that in another video. Well, I've just gotten back from visiting Moosey. We had a nice visit, and I was in the PT room with him for a little while he started his PT, and I got together all his laundry and brought that home. And I'm about to begin my sewing job with Colleen's jumpsuit, and I'm hoping everything goes okay. Sometimes with jobs like this, they go like that, everything goes well. Sometimes there's snags here and there, and they're a little harder. But I did stop on the way home because I hadn't eaten anything. And I've been in kind of off the grid with my eating with the Sbarro pizza that I've been picking up 3 days last week, or this week, and over the weekend and last week. I actually made the trek up in the elevator this time and down to the food court. I just had to do it. You know, you get these bugs in your head, and I didn't have supper, so maybe that was good. But I've enjoyed the week of eating, except for today. On the way home, I thought, you know what? I'm going to stop at Carl's Jr. and guess what I got? jalapeno poppers. And that's not all. You're going to laugh at me, but it's a fried day. You dip them in ranch and you pop them in your mouth. And I'm not going to do this right now because I want to finish what I have to say. The other thing that I got, and it was just one of those days, you guessed it, onion rings. Oh, what a bad day. Oh, and Deb, you're going to yell at me because you know I'm eating very badly. Sorry, but it was just one of those days. I had to do it. Okay, I'm trying to get 2 things done. I want to finish this video so that I can try and get back on schedule. I'm a little bit afraid that with all the fooling around with my cameras and my iPads and all the settings and the wonderful help that Brian and my friends did for me, you have no idea how much they helped me up at the Apple Store. I am afraid that some things were put on or I didn't take enough off and that I have too many gigabytes. Now, see, I have learned something. And those are the big bad ones. The megabytes are the smaller ones. And I can't tell you how many megabytes in a gigabyte, but it says that my iMovie has some gigabytes in it, and I don't like that. That means it's going to kick this video out, and Lord knows when I'll put it up. So I'm very anxious to try and see if everything's going to work. I'll do another video real soon, maybe tomorrow for you, because I do have some other things I want to say. So right now, these are still a little bit warm, and I'm going to have my little combination lunch supper because now it's 1:30, and I have a lot of work to do before tonight. Thank you so much for being patient with me. Thank you for your comments about my clarity and about all the other things I'm doing. And I hope that you realize, too, that as we get older, we have to enjoy this. You know, all the statistics say that we're all going to be living longer and longer. So we have to come to grips with ourselves and say, hey, I'm going to do everything that I can to enjoy these longer years that I might not have had 10 years ago. What with the advances in medicine and everything else, we might not have lived this long. So please try and think of some things that you're never going to give up and keep doing and pushing yourself for the rest of your life. Stay well, stay happy, my friends. I love you all, and God bless us all and all the people still that are suffering in our world all over. Let's pray for everyone.